Okay, here she is. Former LA prosecutor Marcia Clark is with us. She has a new novel out. It's called Snap Judgment. It's another one in her series of books. But before we talk about that, let's talk about OJ Simpson. So the question we raised is, he's paroled. Should he have been?
In my opinion, no. Here's why. You can't consider the Los Angeles case. That is not on the table here. The only thing you can think about is what he did in the Las Vegas case. And more importantly, immediately in the parole hearing, did he take responsibility? Did he show remorse? Did he show an acknowledgement of what he had done? And that's something, those are important points that the parole board should always be paying attention to. But he did none of the above.
Well, let's watch him in his own words here right now.
I've done my time. You know, I've done it as well and as respectfully as I think anybody can. I think if you talk to the wardens, they'll tell you I gave them my word. I believe in the jury system. I've honored their verdict. I've not complained for 9 years. All I've done is try to be helpful.
Well, number one, he has complained in 9 years. Number two, this was the earliest possible time to get paroled. This was as soon as it could possibly be, given what he was convicted of. He denied having known that somebody was there with a gun, when the evidence proved that he deliberately chose someone to come with him who he knew had a gun. And the evidence proved that. He denied, he basically kind of rationalized his whole thing about, I just wanted to get my stuff, minimizing his responsibility. Delusionally claimed he had led a conflict-free life.
Yeah.
I mean,
a criminal-free life, I think he said.
I don't remember that, but
yeah.
I certainly remember conflict-free life. I think that the women he's battered and abused might feel differently, but there was just an absolute minimization of what he'd done and a refusal to take responsibility and no real showing of remorse. And that's exactly what the parole board, generally speaking, will say, parole denied, we'll see you in 2 years. But not here.
What do you think he'll do now? He gets out in October. What's he going to do with his life?
I don't know. I have no idea. It would not surprise me if he got in trouble again, because if you want to know what somebody's going to do, look what they have done. So,
you say you can't think of the LA case involving this one.
Right.
It's difficult because human beings are human beings, and in all of this, we think about the murders. I know it has to do with getting back his memorabilia, etc. I have.
But the memorabilia that he wanted to get back was stuff that he had hidden away after the civil judgment, so Ron Goldman's father, Fred Goldman, couldn't get it.
Couldn't get it.
So it really wasn't his stuff either.
Hey, we're watching back then, and this will not go away, and I think you're at peace with it now. You got the fictional series, you got the series, you got the documentary. It's all over the place, so you're never going to get away from this. But I have a larger question. With law, sometimes in law justice is done. Oftentimes in law justice is not done. So as citizens, should we be very frustrated about this?
Okay, I would reverse that. Oftentimes justice is done. Sometimes it is not.
Okay.
Juries more often than not do get it right, in my experience, both from the defense side, which is where I started, which is actually part of what I'm doing now. I do court-appointed appeals for the indigent. They most of the time do get it right. Occasionally they don't. When they don't, and it's a celebrated case like this, that causes a big outcry, understandably so. Justice was not done in the Simpson case.
But Marcia, some would say that in the wider universe, him being sentenced for this second thing that he's getting paroled on actually was some justice, that he was sentenced
almost
for.
like karmic justice,
yes.
Right?
Well, he brought it on himself. I mean, nobody made him go to that hotel room with 2 other men, and one of whom had a gun, and put these guys up against the wall and steal from them. I mean, in a pretty threatening way, and could have easily gone very far south. I mean, it was very lucky that no one got ultimately physically hurt.
Marcia, I'm going to get to the book in just a moment. We did a story earlier of a prosecutor on a case being beaten up badly while jogging. People think it has to do with the fact that she's presenting a case against some gang members. We don't have the specifics, but in general, did you live with that kind of fear?
I didn't.
Huh.
I know, right?
Ever?
No, I didn't. And in my experience anyway, the defendants usually aim their wrath at the defense attorney. That's the person they blame for everything.
Yeah.
The prosecutor, they may resent them. They don't love us.
But it's your guy you get mad at.
Yeah, typically. The one you're sitting next to, that you have access to. Prosecutor's just a cog in the wheel. I never engaged with the defendants. I didn't get into any spitting contests with them, and I know a few prosecutors do that. Most don't. You go in, you do your job professionally, you as neutral as possible. They don't love you, but they're not usually aiming to get you.
All right, you came in carrying your book. Now, this is what
You told me to.
Yes, yeah, I did.
Oh, it's fantastic.
You're okay.
It's your series.
This
your
is what,
third,
number
yeah.
3, right?
Yes, number 3 in the series. Samantha Brinkman, defense lawyer, criminal defense lawyer, who's had a very traumatic past, which caused her to have a kind of bizarre feeling about the rules and law. She feels they don't apply to her, and she feels because she can deliver justice and she knows how, and she will, where the law would otherwise not maybe allow it to happen. She definitely pulls out all the stops to represent her clients, and if people kind of get killed along the way, she's definitely okay with that. People who deserve it, only if they deserve it.
Only if they deserve it.
Yeah.
All right. Question for you. I've known you for a while now. You've been through a lot. Are you having a good time now?
I am.
Did
really
you
am.
ever think you would again?
No, I didn't. I mean, no, I didn't. Especially when that case was over, life was pretty tough for a number of years. And but I got out there and I started writing books and I started going, doing spots and doing commentary and hosting and stuff like that. I didn't let myself sink into a hole. It's like you can't do that.
But you
have
could
to get
have.
up.
It could have happened.
It could have happened.
The hole was right there, wasn't it?
The hole was right there. And I had to decide, I'm not going to go there. I have children to raise, I have a life to live, and I have to do it. I mean, it wouldn't help anything or anyone
this
not
is the
to.
first time I've ever met you. While he's known you for a long time, wow, I got to say, it's a different thing to sit here with you in person. You are really, yes, a wonderfully confident and complex person.
Anybody who
Yeah.
meets Marcia,
Nice.
you're not the
Yeah.
person, that woman
Yeah.
that we knew from the trial.
No, I am though. I am.
Yes, part of
When
it.
you think, no, I am. I
Yes.
am that person.
Yes.
The thing is, when all you see are sound bites, which is what the news is going to show every night. They show the time when the fur is flying. They don't
Sure.
show all the in-betweens where Johnny and
Yeah.
I are going, so how you doing?
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't see any of that.
All right, Marcia will take part in the Ladies of Intrigue, a conference of mystery writers on Sunday, October 1st in Orange County. Details are on myfoxla.com. Marcia Clark, thank you.
And strong, beautifully strong. That's what I'm catching too.
Coming
right?
up, our
That's right.
question
You know
of
what
the
I'm
day.
saying.
Our question of the day about the engagement ring and a woman's post on social media, about she was unhappy with the ring.
Oh, just get rid of her now.
Just run as fast as you can, sir. Go to our Facebook
Did
page.
you see that?
Or
No,
tweet
I didn't
us.
see that. We should show you.
Oh my God.
Some girl upset about the size of a ring.
Or tweet us at Good Day LA and tell us what you think.